Alright guys, this will be the tutorial performance and review video for the double knockout card trick. This one's a little tricky, so make sure you watch this video a lot if you want to get good at it and do it in the show. So first I'm going to show you how it's show you the performance of the trick. So to start out, I'm going to shuffle the cards up and give the cards some cuts. Completely mix up the order of the deck. I'll even give them another shuffle. Just like that. And what I'm going to do now is I will be finding my 4 helper cards will be the 4 kings in this trick. So I'm going to get 4 kings. Okay. So let's take those 4 kings, set them down right over here. Set them down right on the side, right there. Okay. So, do you guys don't believe that these are the 4 kings? Okay, well I can even show them to you actually. As you can see, those actually are the 4 kings. I'm not lying or anything or trying to be tricky. Those are the 4 kings. And I'm just going to take them, set them right on top of the deck. And you see we have the king of clubs, the king of hearts, the king of spades, and the king of diamonds. So we'll just take the 2 piles, we'll just make 2 piles for the kings. So we'll take the first pile of kings right over here, and we have the second pile of kings right over here. And now now the top 2 cards are going to be your 2 selections, alright? So let's just see what the top 2 cards happen to be. Let's see what they are. So it just happens to be that the top 2 cards are the 7 of hearts and the 7 of diamonds. Wow, that's pretty amazing. The 2 red 7s. So I'll just take those 2 red 7s, we'll just flip them over, and I'll sandwich the first red 7 right between the first pair of kings. Alright, so just sandwich it right there. And I'll sandwich the second red 7 right between the second pair of kings, alright? So now what I'm going to do, you could have happened to select any of the cards in the deck. The top 2 cards could have been any of the cards in the deck. It just happened to be that after shuffling it happened to be the 2 red 7s. But it could have been the 3 of spades, or it could have been the queen of spades, but it happened to be that the top 2 cards were the 2 red 7s. So it's just coincidence. So now we'll take the first pair of kings that are sandwiching the first red 7. We'll just take them right here, put them right on top of the deck, and with a snap, and if I just hit the deck hard enough, then you'll see that causes the 7 to go straight into the middle of the deck, and you see that the 2 black kings are the 2 red kings are no longer sandwiching that 7, and that it's disappeared and it's no longer there. And you see it's not on the top. It's nowhere near the top. And we'll do the same thing here. If we'll take the second pair of the 2 black kings that are sandwiching the second red 7 right here. We'll just take those, put them right on top of the deck, and with a snap of the fingers, and if I just hit it hard enough, that wasn't very good. There we go, just like that. Then you'll see that the second red 7 has now disappeared and just gone straight through all the cards, straight into the middle of the deck. And you might think it's near the 2 red 7s are near the top of the deck, but they aren't anywhere near the top. You might think that they're somewhere near the bottom, but they're nowhere near the bottom either. But their true location is with a snap and a little wave. You see that they're actually right here, right in the middle. The 2 red 7s are right in the middle, face up. Alright, so now for the tutorial of this video. So to perform this trick, what you need to do is you need to get the 2 cards you want them to pick. So you can just probably get 2 soulmates or just 2 random cards, doesn't matter. I'll just get 2, this time I'll do a black 3 and a red 3, so 3 of clubs, 3 of hearts. And then you get 2 random cards, so just random cards in the deck, but not kings. The kings can just be in any order, it really doesn't matter. But I just like pulling them out, just red, black, just so because it looks better. I think, yeah, just make sure they're alternating when you pull them out. So what you do is you take the two cards, take the 2 cards that you want them to pick, you take those 2 cards, you put those on top of the deck, and you take the 2 random cards that are just completely random, you take those and you put those on top of those 2 cards. And that's how you set up the trick. And you can shuffle the cards as long as you maintain those top 4 cards in the same order, and you don't disturb their order. And then what you say is, alright, I'm going to get the four kings. So you go through, get out all the kings. And I usually try to make sure that they're in alternating red-black order. And I just out-jog them just like this. You spread through and out-jog them. And then I just take them, place them down right here. And you don't want to show them to them because then they'll think that it's kind of fishy, like it's not the actual 4 cards. But the reason you're doing this is so that when you're showing them, you're like, oh, you don't believe me? And then you say, well, actually, they are the 4 kings, as you see. And then as you're doing that, watch my left hand. Or for you, it looks like it's on the right, I think. Or no, yeah. But what you, so while you're showing them this, you're pushing off the top 2 cards in your left hand. See, I'm pushing off the top 2 cards and getting a little pinky break. So you say, oh yeah, they actually are the 4 kings. So don't think I'm doing anything fishy. I'm really not. And you go like this, just go like that. Pull off the break while you're showing them to them. And then what you do is you have those break under the top 2 cards, and then you say, all right, I'll just take those 4 kings. And you put them on top of the deck, on top of those 2 cards. So now you have 6 cards, and you pull those 6 cards off, and you say, alright, you see we have the king of clubs. You slide it off, peel it off, turn it, flip it over. The king of diamonds, flip it over. And the king of spades, flip it over. And then underneath this king of hearts, you can't peel it off because then they're going to see that it's actually their 2 cards. So what you do is you just set it down on top of the deck, and you just flip it over like that. Alright, and then what you do is you say, alright, now we're going to take those 4 kings, we'll just set them down. You slide the first 2 off, the first 2 cards off. They think those are 2 kings, but there's actually just a king and a random card. And you deal the second 2 cards. So that way, the kings are on the top. And they'll probably trust that the other ones are kings, but they're really not, that's random cards. And then what you do next is you get a break under 4 cards, so you can just riffle up until you have, you see those. You can riffle up until you have those 4 cards, or until you see the 2 cards you wanted to pick. Or you can just see that you have 4 cards. You can be like, all right, yep, okay, that should be 4 here, and then you just say, all right. So the top 2 cards are going to be your selections, just to make it easier, or whatever reason you want to say for that. And you say, all right, you see the top 2 cards happen to be the 3 of hearts and the 3 of clubs. Wow, 2 black, 2 threes or whatever. And then you say, okay, we'll flip those 2 cards over, and we'll take the first 3, set it right between these 2 kings. And you say, all right, we'll take the second 3, we'll set it right between these 2 kings. And you just put it right between. These actually aren't kings, and these are the kings right here, but I think they're 2 selections. And then what you do is you get a thumb break under the top 2 cards, because those are the 2 selections, and you do a Browyer reversal, except you don't complete it. You say, all right, we'll just give the card some cuts, and then you say, all right, and you flip the cards over onto the top of that pile. And you get the thumb on, and you transfer the cards into this pile. And you say, it just so happened to be that your 2 cards were the 2 threes. They could have been the 10 of diamonds. You say it could have been the ace of clubs, and you sneakily slide this pack right over on top of that one. But it so happened to be that you had the 2 threes as your 2 cards or your 2 selections. And you say, all right, so now we'll take the first pair of kings that's sandwiching the first 3, go like that. And you say, okay, we'll just put it on top of the deck. And if we just snap our fingers and hit it hard enough, then it'll disappear, whatever you want to make up. And you say it's gone flying straight into the middle of the deck because you see the kings no longer have it. And we'll do this, and you can just show them that it's nowhere near the top. It's not on the top of the deck. Say we'll just do the same thing with the second pair of kings that's sandwiching the second selection. You say with snap, if you hit it hard enough, then boom, it disappears. It's gone straight into the middle of the deck. And you say it could be, some people might think it's near the top of the deck. You take cards at the top, show them to them. You say some people might think it's near the bottom, but it's not either. And you say with snap of fingers, the real location of your cards is actually right in the middle, face up. And then you show them they're right in the middle, and they'll be like, and then they'll probably be, hopefully, most likely be amazed. So that's Double Knockout. A little tricky. Rewatch this video a lot if you have to, and prepare for the show tomorrow. I know you guys can do well, so see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.